Hi, there we go. I needed to clear my camera off a little bit because there's such a bright light behind me. But welcome to the Atelier Nekozuki live stream. Today we're wrapping up on the pop-up stuff for Ancient Arts Yarns. The pop-up is tomorrow, July 15th, 2023, and it will be down at Ancient Arts Yarns Dye Studio in Calgary, Alberta. I'm going to set you right in the middle here. What I'm working on right now is we're working on getting the Mae Glasses Cases finished up. And then we're going to be sewing up big bags as much as I can. I will probably have to mute myself in a few minutes, hopefully. I'm waiting to hear from the vet about Flynn. He ended up having to stay 2 nights at the vet. He got into some of my diabetic medication on Tuesday night. And ended up starting to have a reaction beginning Wednesday night. They actually said that he was supposed to be able to come home. And then it turned out that his blood sugar started dropping. So yeah, it's been an adventure, an expensive vacation for him from the kids. But he should be able to get home tonight. So I'm just waiting for that phone call. And I will mute myself at that point so that I can take the phone call. Anyway, so right now I've got all of the I weeded 16 of these vinyl heat transfer vinyls for my logo, and I've put them into the little Mae Glasses cases. And now what I'm doing is I'm going to go along and trim the thread ends, and then we're going to install the snaps on all of these as well. The second piece of the snap. The first piece of the snap got installed before I sewed it so that the rivet is covered by the interior fabric and there's nothing to scratch the glasses that you put in here. These are super 3D cases. The one thing I did notice with doing the logos this time is I will do it pre-sewing next time, now that I know where I want to place them, because I use a Cricut Easy Press, which is, I just tapped it, it's right here. And it was actually really hard to get into that space. So that is the one change I'll do next time, is that this will be a mid-project thing. So we'll sew the interior and exterior together along with the stabilizer, and then I will put in the vinyl logo. I may not always be using vinyl, but for now, like, I gotta find a new supplier for my sew-in tags, and for sew-in tags that will work in this sort of thing, because like my big honkin' machine washable and like care instruction tag is not going to cut it for these guys. These are not machine washable anyway, so I wouldn't want to put that in there. It would destroy the stabilizer. That's what's actually making this so stiff, is it's a sew-in stabilizer. If you've been joining me in the lives the last few weeks, you know how I end up putting that in with the fusible interfacing. If you have not been following along for the last few weeks, you can go check those videos out. And as always, if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. We're up almost 100 followers since I started posting to Instagram this isn't Instagram, this is YouTube. But since I've started posting more to YouTube again, and I really appreciate it. I'm finding this the best place right now for the videos and all of that, which is super fun. All right, I'm just going to grab the actual press that we need to do the installation. It's this big honkin' one. And then we need the snaps and the snap. Okay, that's the leather. That's the rivet press die. And here are the rivets. Okay, so there's the black and the bronze. And I know the kiddos ended up getting one of them. It looks like they got the gold. So I think it's just on the back side of my desk here. I don't know actually if it was the kids or the cats. I swear if it's not the kids, it's the cats, and vice versa. All right. So, oh no, they're in here. What I'm missing right now is the actual little red bin for the bronze rivet snaps. My youngest knocked my clips off the the desk yesterday because we were down here and they didn't have childcare and blah blah blah. So anyway, okay, we are installing the male end today, which means that I actually need the other press in. All right, so I do actually need an adapter for my press. This is just like super loose in here. I didn't even think to order it when I ordered the magnetic snap die. So this process is a little bit more arduous than it actually needs to be right now. But no, whatever. I don't know how else. I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, we actually do need... Oh yeah, we're going to use this guy. I could use the punch on the snap press, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to use my hand pliers because that is going to actually be easier. And we're going to need a marking pen because what I'm going to do, so this is how the very kind of slapdash way, but here's the thing is like when you're sewing these, they don't necessarily all line up with where the actual like pattern says the stuff should be. Perfect world, it should, but I like doing my snaps at the end, just in case stuff doesn't exactly line up like it's supposed to. Anyway, so how I do this one is I'm going to take the the end that snaps into the piece. So this piece, I should have done this with a lighter one to begin with, and I'm actually going to snap it right here. So now you've got the rivet bit that's going to go into the actual rivet. I can fold this over, snug it up, see where it's going to place actually in the interior there. There, actually, you can see that pretty good. Try to center it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take my marking pen and mark right where I want it to end up. I'm going to give this a little bit more space. It'll be closer to the, actually, there, closer to the tip. And there's the rivet spot. So I just marked the rivet spot with my purple pen. It is that little dot right up by the dog ear. So what I'm going to do now is we'll take my hand pliers and we're going to just punch that out with the hand pliers. Like I said, there's a punch on this snap machine, but this way I can just, I don't have to swap, although I guess I'm not pressing these until I get through all of them probably. All right. This hand press doesn't like the actual stabilizer that much, so that's why the scrolling. So it might actually be better to do the press, but whatever. All right, now we're going to take off the bit that needs to be riveted. There we go. It goes to the interior, pops through, get that stabilizer out of there, and then we're going to get the rivet. Hey, Delia. Yeah, I know you're lonely, hey? Your buddy's not here right now. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm going to pop it in here. Pop this underneath. And then I actually do need to stand up. There. And there is it done. Now, will your glasses go in there? 100%. I've tested this many times. It is a little bit up there. That's better. Just making it pretty sometimes is difficult, but this is such a cute print with the little puppies. My cat. And it's a good scatter print. And then you open it up and your glasses go in like this. I prefer putting my lenses towards the back of the case because then this kind of forms over top of the arms. Oops. Come on. I know you work. You've worked in the past. There we go. And obviously that is not a small pair of glasses. It's quite wide. They're fairly deep, all of that. You could do it with lenses to the front actually as well. That might be easier. When I'm taking photos, I'm going to have to remember that. Stick my glasses in there. I'll bring a pair of sunglasses to show these off tomorrow. Sorry, Dahlia is wandering around and I can't see my video. But there you go. That's it holding glasses. So there it is done. Now I'll go through and do the rest of them. Wonder if I should, maybe I will install the punch actually on the thing. Oops. Okay, where should I put these for now? I need to put them all the way so the cat stops getting on them. But we'll just put them up there then. Okay, yeah, let's install the punch. The problem with the punch is that you can't actually see the mark you're trying to hit. All right. So this is what I use for the rivets. It punches through the leather and the, I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. Punches through the leather and the fabric for me. Now, I might finish more of these tonight. Right now, I'm going to finish off what I have. And then we're going to move straight into the, actually, I'm going to lay out the dark ones here so I know which ones are getting dark. Oh, just 2 more. Okay. Basically, I got 16 out of 27 things weeded yesterday. This heat transfer vinyl, I got it because people were saying that it's really easy to weed. It's advertised as easy to weed. My butt, it was not easy to weed. However, it did transfer amazingly, way better than anything else I've used in the past. So I guess we're gonna stick with it. It takes a really long time to weed. So I'm like, if this is hard to weed, then, or easy to weed, what the heck is hard to weed? All right, so we're gonna pop these pieces together. Just installing the magnetic snaps on the Mae Glasses cases. And this is my way of doing it. I always install at the end, in part because then I don't have to stabilize as much. Actually, that is the big point, is that I don't have to stabilize the actual fabric as much because it's going to be going through the actual stabilizer that's here. It also allows me to like center it based on how the bag is getting finished. Yeah, no, that punch isn't going to work because I can't see. Okay, hand punch it is. I was going to use the punch on the snap press because it would go through the mark. But I guess what I could do is I can like put it through. And then, yeah, there we go. Okay, so it's going to be double punched, basically. There. Like that. And then that will actually be the punch hole. So the hand punch doesn't actually go through there very well. It doesn't like the stabilizer in the middle. So that's why I had to double do it. It does mean, however, that I can only do this one step to begin with of popping rivets in, and then we'll go through and snap press them afterwards. All right, so there's one to do. And we'll do this one. And this one still needs its threads trimmed. So we're doing a tidy up. Because I didn't have all of my logos weeded, I had to select which ones I want to finish, because if I don't end up with a chance to finish up tonight for whatever reason, which is highly likely with the children, I want to make sure that I had ones done that would make sense for tomorrow. And I nearly missed the fact that I actually had pancake breakfast ones. So they ended up in the rotation when I wasn't even thinking about it. Make sure that that's centered. And so I'm laughing about that because I'm like, how could I almost miss pancake breakfast or breakfast delivery fabrics for pancake breakfast? It's just like, Katie, pay attention. All right. Now that is an air erase marker, so it's not going to actually leave a mark. And even if it did, it would be covered up by the rivet. So I'm not worried about it. All right, that cleared it out a bit better. It's right here. I keep misplacing it. I'm like, where did the piece go that needs to go underneath? All right, and there we go. So now that'll get pressed in with the press right here afterwards. And then it's like all good to go. Snap it closed here. These are glasses cases. Wouldn't recommend them necessarily for prescription glasses. They're not like padded, but they are stabilized, so they'll be good for anything like against scratches and stuff like that. And this will be quite a bit tighter up here once it actually gets pressed as well. It's loose right now. Ooh, that was not a happy noise. There we go. All right, so the pancake breakfast ones, we can do those next actually, are like this. So I was like, what? How could I even think to not, like, they were kind of in the, well, we'll do those after pile. And I'm like, no, realizing that, of course, we got to bring the pancake breakfast ones. So I'm glad I caught that before I made a mistake. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 gold. So we'll pull the snaps for the gold out. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 for the antique bronze or whatever you want to call it. All right, 7 gold, 7 gold, 7 gold. So I will be inside the building tomorrow. I selected inside the building because this is a mixed pop-up market, but I selected inside because it's Stampede, and I swear every day there is it's like the daily unforecasted rain shower, but it happens every day during Stampede. So I was just like looking at what I'm like, I don't want to have to move inside if it starts raining. And so Caroline's put me inside, which will be good. I'm just because like even yesterday we discussed that it was supposed to be like 26 and sunny, and yesterday it was only supposed to be cloudy. And in Cochrane here we ended up actually having like a house like I'm in the basement, and the house was rattling from the thunder, and the power blipped actually as well. Not very long, about 5 seconds or so, but enough to like scare the cat. And yeah, it was a bit of a disaster. Well, it wasn't a disaster. That's too strong a word. But it validated my reasoning for why I wanted to be inside tomorrow. Vindicated, validated. All right, so this is actually a really good fabric to demonstrate this on. So I've got the male end inserted into the female end. It's snapped in. I fold the top down, try to like kind of smush it how I want it to be finished, because obviously with the stabilizer, it's fairly stiff and doesn't really want to cooperate. Nothing does today. Hi, Dahlia. She's, of course. There we go. And then, so I can feel that the male end is right there. I'm going to slide this over just a tick to what I think is going to be more centered. It's under my thumb right now. That's pretty good. We're going to make a mark with the pen like that. And then I'm going to go in with the hand pliers. She has been all over the place since Flynn has been at the vet, so I'm hoping he comes home tonight, because she is lonely. All right. Punch through with the snap punch. Grab the piece before I forget that it's there. So we insert. Oh, I don't have my rivets set up. That's dumb. Today was another run day. And actually, the awesome part is so I wear an Apple Watch, which measures the VO2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And over the last couple of runs, it has actually increased significantly. I'm quite happy. So I was 27 point. I'm still below average, but was 27.8 on my run on Wednesday, and today it went up to 28.1, which I will take. And it's small, but like significant gains, and I do actually feel a lot stronger, cardio wise at least. My body is definitely like the body strength is my downfall right now, so I'm working on it. If you're just joining me, my husband and I are signed up to run the Dopey Challenge at Disney World in January. Oops. Well, good thing this is an area erase marker. There we go. That's where it actually needs to go. Marks everywhere. Anyway, we are signed up to run the Dopey Challenge at Disney World in January. The Dopey Challenge is all 4 runs of the marathon weekend. So that means that we will be running a 5, a 10, a half, and a full marathon. He runs half marathons all the time. I think he just completed his 6th half marathon. I haven't run a half ever. And I have only been running 10Ks. Actually, I just ran my 3rd 10K last Sunday. So I am currently training to run the Dopey Challenge. It's a 20, they actually provide, or included with the sign-up fees is a training program. It's a 28-week training program. And so I did skip a couple weeks in part because it's like I started it at the right time, but I skipped a couple weeks so that it lined up better with what I was currently running. So like last week's long run was supposed to be 5.5 miles. I ran a 10K on the Sunday. I'm not going to go run 5.5 miles the next day, although I did go do spin, which was fantastic. Dallas regretted it. He beat his knees up so bad. He's been having knee pain for quite a few years now. So I finally convinced him that like it's time to go to physio. Just go to the physio. He knows he needs to lose weight, but it's like even if you lose weight, it'll still make your knees stronger and better. He has an old injury, so it's like I'm pretty sure that the physio is going to be the best option for making sure that he's got a long running career on those knees. Anyway, yeah, so I did skip a couple weeks because it's like I may as well line up my 10K with that 5.5 mile, given that 10K is 6 miles essentially. Blah blah blah. So that's what I did. And then that does give me a couple of weeks leeway, just in case it's like the kids get sick or I get sick and all of that, because they are in childcare. And I swear this, I'm going to jinx ourselves, but we've been sick for like months. Ooh, there we go. We're going to do it right there because that is so cool. I'll show you what I mean in just a second once I actually get this placed. So punch with the hand punch. But yeah, that's taking up a lot of time right now. Right before Christmas, I moved the dates around for this too because then my husband is home to like tag team the kids, given that the training is going to get really intense at the end. But it's like the last, I don't know, 3 weeks before the race, they want you to do a basically the race minus a few miles. Oh, why did I do that? And yeah, I'm just like looking at it like, oh my goodness. So it wants you to do like a 5, a 10, and like it just wants you to do the whole weekend. It's like 48.6 miles. Mine, I think the trial run is like 43 miles. So like negligibly different, less, whatever sort of thing. All right. So what was so cool is I was actually able to line up the citrus on there, and it does look better in person. Actually, you can see it there on the camera. So that's really fun. So this, the rivet's probably a little bit off center, but worth it to line up the citrus instead. Optical illusions. All right, 3 more of the gold. And then after this, we'll be going in, and after I'm done all the snaps and like finished installing the snaps completely, I'm going to go in and do the big bag sewing. We are trying desperately to finish as much as possible. I got all of 20 minutes downstairs last night to actually sew once the kids were in bed. So I'm behind. I thought I would get more time. But I think my youngest is, well, they're definitely teething. They were teething a couple weeks ago. And I think we're down to the last molars. And that might be what's causing some upset because they keep waking up like really early for what they do. Okay, there we go. 2 more gold. Banana Cats turned out so well on this little pouch. I'm so happy with it. Banana Cats. Doo-doo. I did not see this fabric, so I didn't end up getting more in May, but we're going to get what we're going to get, I guess. All right. That looks good. Actually, let's scoot it there. Yeah, right there. So these glasses cases, I would suggest for like reading glasses or sunglasses, not necessarily prescription glasses because they aren't designed, like they're not a hard case. They are a soft case, fabric case with stabilizer in them. So it keeps the 3D shape, but it doesn't provide any extra like protection really. It will protect against scratches and dings basically. But people have been asking for glasses cases for a while. I just never found something that suited me and like what I wanted to make, and which was in a way that I could actually do a production line of it, basically. And then I saw these cases last year, around the time that I started looking for wallet patterns that I was finally finding that I loved. So, oh, can I make it work? It looks like I can actually line this fabric up. You can still see the rivet that way. Damn it. Oh, it's so close. Oh, so close. Oh, well. I don't want you to be able to see the rivet. But we'll get that as close as we can. If you squish it that way. Yeah, if it's a little bit squished, it's like, it's so close. It's kind of annoying that I can't. Actually, what I should do is maybe draw on the end of the actual, like, rivet in this case, because I can't see that mark. Yeah, there we go. It was on top of black. It was purple on black. That's not going to work for me being able to actually see where this needs to go. So punching through to put the rivet snap in with the hand punch, because otherwise I can't actually see it underneath on the snap press either. But I'm using the snap press because the hand punch doesn't get all the way through. Doesn't like the cutting through the stabilizer, which I can't blame it. I actually had to go get my, oh, it's so good. So this nearly lines up perfectly. I was trying to make it line up, but you would have been able to see the edge of the snap. So it's not quite, very close. Anyway, I had to go actually get my scissors sharpened after I cut all the stabilizers for these because I was cutting something else. And I'm like, oh, you are mad. You are not cutting like you're supposed to. So that was fun. Okay, I need 6 of the antique bronze. Make sure that there's no other baggies of it. It looks like, yeah, okay. I stuffed them in together. And then, yeah, so I'll finish these up and then do big bags. So I'll have to move the laptop around and set you up on the chair. I'll have to, I guess, push all the bags off of the chair onto somewhere else. I guess maybe into the bin that's designed to hold them, or that I have to hold them. Okay, pop this back in this bag. So these magnetic rivet snaps are from Cam Snaps in California. And I was introduced to them actually through Okla Roots YouTube channel. She does sewing tutorials, and she was talking about you need a rivet press. And I've had a snap press for years because I do snaps for the needle stashers, and it's been amazing. Like I used to do hand installed snaps, like with like one of these, and you would, but my hand strength was not good enough. And it was good enough, but it took a very long time to actually install them, and B, hurt my hands like nobody's business. So I decided that it may be time to invest in another snap press. But that snap press, I probably could have figured out the dies to actually fit in them, but it was missing a piece, so it never stayed upright. I didn't trust it. Like this, so when you press down, your handle's usually like up like this, right? That's what it's supposed to do. Then you press down and this does it. The other press that I had actually was missing a pin to hold the spring. You can actually see it there really well right now. And so it would just always be down. And me not knowing when I purchased it, never thought to actually get it remedied until I saw this press and I'm like, oh, I know what I can put in there. So I've got a pin in it now. But it's just going to be the actual like snap press. It's not going to be it doesn't do the rivets and it doesn't do these cam snaps. And that's fine. It was fairly easy. This was a fairly cheap purchase overall, given how, like, it's probably paid itself off already, given how much I've used it over the past year and the products that I'm going to be able to put into production. Now, could I use traditional magnetic snaps? 100%. But the benefit to the magnetic snaps is that they are totally an afterthought thing. I don't have to like stabilize the fabric before I actually like complete the project. And why that's like why that works for these guys is that there's already a stabilizer in the in it. If otherwise I would have to stabilize the interior fabric, and it's just it's It's a lot of forethought, and I do prefer I do like how these are just kind of like, I can do this right now, and it's like the last step, and then they're done. So there's obviously definitely benefits to doing the traditional magnetic snaps, but these guys are so thin too, they don't take up a lot of room. They're in fashion colors. There's a lot of reasons to actually use the rivet snaps. Most of it is because it's like easy for me. Actually, I just realized there's a wallet I can finish now that I have these as well. All right, I'm gonna cut through here and then do it again. There we go. So anything that's kind of left over from Ancient Arts Yarns will either be going online or it will be going to the pop-up at Market Spot in Market Mall. They were saying that they needed a restock. So there'll be a restock probably on the large box, the small box, and big bags there. I don't know if I'm going to restock them on Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, because I'm going to end up needing time to actually, for them, they need different SKUs and they need to have barcodes done. It was just a little, and I put more information on the tags. I got to get more tags printed, and so I'll include that information on the tags this time. But right now I don't have it on there. So basically I'll add like bags and accessories handcrafted or made from hand-selected Japanese fabrics is what I'll do. But right now I'm cutting out the tags to just go along with my business cards tags that I use. And it's working fine, but it does mean that I need to take a little bit more time before I can restock Market Spot. So timeline right now would be the max. It would be Tuesday because I'll already be in the city as part of it. But it might be Monday when the kids are in childcare. I don't know. I could take Monday and actually do some more sewing, which would be good as well. So we'll see. Haha. All right, we got 3 more of these bronze guys. Oh, this one already has got a hole in it. Sweet. Let's just pop that through. Why are you already done? Who knows? I don't care. Past Katie. Thank you, Past Katie. All right, there we go. It is in a terrible spot now that it's constructed, but that's okay. Actually, it's not too bad. Oh, I might have done it because I wanted to see where the actual seam line on the back of this went, because this fabric is directional, so I had to make it directional as well. But super cute. All right, 2 more. That one was way faster than I anticipated. So 2 more, and then we'll go through and we'll press all the snaps, and then we'll get to big bags. What time is it? 11:45. I may need to mute myself in a little bit. I'm waiting on a phone call from the vet. Actually, I should make sure that my phone's on Do Not Disturb. It is not. Good. Flynn got a hold of one of my diabetic medications. Flynn is a cat. And he was fine for the first 24 hours-ish, and then around 23 hours into digesting it, his sugar started going low because it's diabetic medication. So he has had a 2-night stay at the vet, which was very much an unplanned expense. Very expensive vacation for him to get away from the kids. I'm trying to make a joke there because it has been stressful. But the doctor was saying yesterday that, or the vet was saying yesterday, doctor, that he should be able to come home today, hopefully. They didn't want to release him yesterday because he was still on a dextrose and glucose, and they still had to continue to intervene. But they, when I was chatting with her last night, just they call you a couple times a day. On the second chat, she said that he was starting to go up into hyperglycemia, which means the sugars were too high. And now this one doesn't look like much until you turn it around. Bam! Cats. I like actually how subtle that makes it in the front. You can kind of see that there's going to be a kitty cat. But he's not super obvious. It's also a really good color, which from my screen, I'm not able to tell. Anyway, the vet called and said that his sugars were starting to go up into the hyperglycemia, which is excellent. It means that they can hopefully they're able to take him off the drip And basically, the recommendation from pet poison control is that he needed to be 6 to 8 hours without intervention. So we're at, who knows? I don't know when they were able to like wean him off. No news is good news. Just dreading that phone call and the bill. So Tuesday night was chaos. The kids were all over the place. And I swear, if it's not the kids, it's the cats. And on Tuesday, it was both, obviously. They were not having anything. And then I was downstairs just having a moment so that I didn't lose my cool with them. And the cat was up on the counter and got my medication that I'd set down when the kids started the chaos. So it's just like, unbelievable. Although he's been up on the counters a lot recently. So I've got, it's called a scat can. And basically it's an aerosol can full of air and motion detector. So I'll set it on the counters and basically it hisses at the cats when they cross its path. And so I'll be able to move it around the kitchen because he's been on the stove a lot. And the control panel for the stove is on top, and just like I'm worried now that he's going to like turn the stove on and all of that. I'm going to clear out the actual little punch. There we go. Nice and clean for next use. But yeah, hopefully he's okay. I'm supposed to get the call between 11 and 1, and it is 10 to 12 right now. So we got another hour-ish in that range. Again, no news is good news. So I'm going to go with he's doing fine, and she's going to call me at the end of her rounds. All right. Back to actually pressing these in. I'm going to stand up so that I can do these quick. And then we'll move on to big bags. Thank goodness. This went actually together way faster than I thought it was going to. Now I know I did all the vinyl off camera because I thought the vet was going to call. I still have a few to weed. So if I get a chance, I will maybe come back online for that. However, Caroline offered that I could come and actually do the setup for tomorrow tonight or this afternoon. So I'm going to go do that instead of having to drop my kids off so early with my mother-in-law tomorrow. Capybaras going in. There we go. Nice and easy. Nice and finished. Just like that. I'm going to need a bin for these guys because they're going to take up a lot of room otherwise. They are not small, dainty products. And I wanted them to keep their shape. I'm seeing that the cats have been sleeping on some of them, and they may not have maintained their shape quite as nicely as some of the others. All right, there we go. Oh my goodness. It looks so good. So good. I'm very pleased with these, as I think I should be. This one is also going to be spectacular. So this is the bees and strawberries and like little white flowers. I bet you, let's see if this turns out well. I love it with this antique bronze, like snap. All right. Just kind of fuss with it a little bit so that, yeah, look at that. Nice fat little baby. Ready to hold all of your glasses. Well, fashion glasses and reading glasses and sunglasses. We've got some guinea pigs. This is a new fabric. And this wasn't even offered up to wholesalers because I only ended up with a meter of it. So there's going to be very few products actually made from it. This is one of them because I thought that it was adorable with the size of the guinea pigs. And like, look at where those guys ended up on the back here. That's way too perfect. All right. And then the jelly one is going to turn out spectacular as well. I just saw my neighbor outside. She's working in her greenhouse. And she probably can totally see me. Talking to my laptop. Oh, well, people should be used to it by now with all the work from home. There we go. Aha, there. Nice and smooth. So good. So good. I think I have one more actually in my, that'll be added to the later pile for if I get a chance to finish pile. Yeah, I'm thinking I should trim up the wallets and figure out what I want to charge for them as well. Because there'll be space on the rack for them. This is the pancake breakfast one where I was like, oh no, I need this for sure for tomorrow since we're doing pancake breakfast. There's pancakes right at the top. This also has the sad salt shaker. And I don't know why he's sad, but I really want to know why. He's right at the top here too. Sad salt shaker. Anyway, super cute. This almost lined up perfectly as well. Hey, look at that. Sweet. Love when that happens, especially when I don't even have to think about it. All right. Fans turned out friggin' spectacular as well. I use those words a lot though, but like seriously, they turned out really well. Like, look at that. Look at that. I'm pleased. I'm going to finish these up, and actually then I will also give a heads up on Instagram, since I didn't do that earlier, that we are online. Yeah, I definitely need to get the adapter next time I make an order for snaps. Because then this would stop wiggling around in here, and I'd just be able to like push down instead of having to wiggle everything around. Now this is actually a directional fabric, but there's only one or two juice drops. This is also the one that I'm very pleased on. Yeah, it lined up. Sweet. Yeah, the juice drops actually ended up mostly on the one on the back, and a couple other ones are on the front, but really you can't tell. All right, this one is also going to be amazing. This one's kind of like Christmassy colors, but not. It's odd, but it's really good. Just like that. Haha, success. These ones came together really nicely this time. Not that the first round that I didn't turn out nice, but like it's just good to see that they're continuing to be that good. Banana cats. Gonna close you up. Ooh, the cotton linen. So this is actually a little bit heavier fabric. The cotton linen, it is so nice in this. So nice. Oh, that's why the B one's probably a little bit nicer too. It's holding its shape nicer than the cotton. That tells me I might need, well, although this one's not bad. I don't know. Some of them turned out better than others. This is actually a fairly lightweight cotton. But yeah, you can tell there that this one's holding its shape better. And that's just the fabric difference, I think. Could be a little bit of construction as well. Who knows? Or like how the stabilizer was treated beforehand. Obviously, I'm trying to treat it as nice as possible. Ooh, hello? Okay. I don't know what that thunk was, but all right. This bunny is super cute as well. So there's a bunny right in the middle of this one, which is awesome. Then there's actually another bunny on the back, which is fantastic. And then there's a couple bunny butts kind of racing off of the case there. Bunny butts. All right, the next pancake breakfast. I don't know why I keep trying to do that. Well, I'm trying to look at it myself, actually, while I'm doing that off camera. So how to make pancake. And then actually the pancakes on this one are even better placed than they were on the first pink one. Very pleased. We've got our citrus. And I've got two more to press, including this one. So this is the Pentultimate Mae Glasses Case. So the pattern is by Miss Freckles Design. I did not design it. I am just making it. And I found them when I was actually looking for wallet patterns last year, and she has the Mia and Amelia patterns, which are really nice. There we go. So there's the navy citrus. The colors of the fruit on this one are richer, I would say. They're darker. So this is a gold, and this is an orange. Whereas like on the pink, it's brighter. So the pink has like a very lemon yellow lemon and more of like a tangerine orange. And actually that is, you can see that difference on this camera quite well, surprisingly. So at least from what I can see as I'm standing up and at a different angle from the actual camera, because you know, I gotta press these. Oh, there's one more that I missed. Oh no, that one, right. All of these have already had their snaps done. The female end of the snap done. I'm like, oh, that one's almost done. We just need to put the male snap in. But no, we need to put the logo in too, and that's not gonna happen right now. This one's got cherry brand right at the front. Oh, it's like so good. And this one's got a really good shape. And this is the thinnest fabric I have right now. Interesting. Well, there's them done. Moving on, because we gotta stop admiring the work that we've already done and continue doing more work. I'm going to take a drink of my pop, and we're going to get the bags sorted out here. Yeah, I literally got 3 sewn last night. Not even. I got 2.5 done. I only ended up being able to work about 20 minutes before the kids woke up last night. So that's why, but it doesn't make it any easier today. That's for sure. All right, so let's make some selections about what we actually want to get finished for tomorrow then too, because I have a feeling I'm not going to be able to do everything because I still have to sew it all together and I still have to wedge all of this, and I want to head into Calgary around 2 o'clock so that we can drop stuff off. Oh, and you've got top stitching in your seam, so you are going to go into timeout. Awesome. All right, so we're going to definitely do cranes. We're going to do sassy cats because sassy cats are popular. Cranes, sassy cats. And anything that I don't finish today will get finished. It's just I would have preferred to have it for tomorrow. And I might actually get a lot done tonight, but I would prefer to prioritize ones that I know for sure are going to be popular tomorrow. We're also going to do the sassy cats with ribbons. And then, yeah, let's all do, the capybara will be good to go. And we'll do the floral wreath cats as well. And then, okay, both floral wreath cats and the sheep, because hi, this is mostly a fiber event. Hello. I am hidden behind my stack of bags because I'm just trying to figure out what I should finish for tomorrow. I got to do a little bit of prioritizing because I didn't end up with as much work time last night as I anticipated. And so we're going to finish what we can. I'm heading into Calgary around 2-ish. And yeah, I got to go set up a couple of the racks that I'm going to have for tomorrow. Okay, there we go. That's enough. We're going to flip the stack because then I'll work on stuff that's for sure at the bottom. That's like gotta do. And then it'll go up from there. All right. Move the laptop all the way over here like this. And then you'll be, oh, I need to clean that camera again. I need to get a cloth for my laptop apparently. Oh, and tigers. Definitely want tigers. Okay, what are you connected to? You're just connected to yourself. Okay. So we'll start with tigers and we'll move out from there. And that'll go in over here. And then, yes. All right. Sassy Cat is on the actual machine right now, so we will finish that one up. I'll plug the laptop in, take my drink, and then we'll get sewing. Cable. And then let's get you cleaned up. What do I... Whoa, that was loud. Sorry if that got your eardrums. All right. Excuse me while I clean you up here. I need to start doing this before I get on film. But you know, better now than being all streaky. Yeah, that's better. All right. We've got the ring light going. You come sit right here with me. We're moving on to big bags here. Basically trying to finish up what we can finish up. Which I don't know what it's going to be, but we will try our best. I have a pop-up with Ancient Arts Yarns that I'm prepping for tomorrow, and we're just so I know there's some stuff I'm missing. I'm missing stuff like the big bag. Also missing stuff like, well, the Mae Glasses Cases will be good because it's summertime. That's why I focused on getting at least some of them finished. But yeah, the big bags are popular and need to be done. So these have been all top stitched and finished up to this point. Basically, all I got to do is we're going to sew around the whole bag. And yeah. Just realized I'm getting hungry too. But we will deal with that after. Now, the nice thing about me having, so I've done these big bags a little bit different than I have in the past. Normally, I sew the interiors and exteriors together at the foot, basically, the bottom. This year, currently, I'm actually sewing them. I did not sew the bottoms together before I did the top stitching, which made the top stitching significantly easier and faster. And now it's actually making sewing the bag together faster as well, because I can just do a whole thing around instead of like, well, I guess maybe it's not faster. I just realized I'm like, realistically, the other one was only 2 seams. This one is like 3 seams. But where I saved the time was definitely not having to do the foot first and then the top and blah, blah, blah. It made the top stitching way faster. I guess I should actually post to my Instagram as well, saying that I am online. So let's finish this one up and then we'll do that. One thing I was noticing last night is I definitely have to pin these, or else I end up, like, the fabrics are really like slippery against each other and they don't stick together very well. So we'll keep some pins on the side here. Could I clip it? Yes, but my kid, youngest, threw them on the floor yesterday. All right, mute for a drink. All right, back from that. And I just realized I also need to set an alarm for when I actually want to leave the house. I also have to pack stuff, I guess. Okay, so we're going to set it for 1:45, which means we have about 1 hour and 40 minutes right now. And we'll, so that is not a lot of time, but we will make the most of it. That is really loud. I keep forgetting that I have the sound on so that I can hear when the vet calls about feeling. Sorry, that was a very weird way to say his name. So just letting folks know that I'm live on YouTube, so I'm Big Bags, because my largest following is on Instagram. Although thank you for everyone who has subscribed recently, because that means that my YouTube account is also growing very quickly, which I very much appreciate. When I was originally on YouTube, I did not grow very quickly. I think probably because I wasn't posting enough content. But with being able to do the lives and the shorts now, it has helped me significantly, actually. So, and I'm doing a lot of short form video for Instagram and TikTok anyway. So it's just, I just kind of push it through to all the different platforms. All right, let's do the tigers next. Tigers. This is such gorgeous fabric. So there's actual gold shimmer on this. And I don't know what it is about this shimmer, but it's like, it's so good. It's so good. Japan just knows how to do their fabrics. And like, look at that. You can even see it on camera really well. So this is gold shimmer right here. People wonder why I use Japanese fabrics. This is why I use Japanese fabrics. Now, granted, no, I can't actually buy these sorts of fabrics in Canada. That's the whole thing. Like, it would be so it's so difficult to access here, and like even purchasing from like the Japanese stores that I would go to normally directly, just It's not the same. We as knitters and handcrafters and things are such tactile people. It's like that's part of what I'm doing is making sure that the tactility of it is good. There's definitely fabrics that I ran into in May. So there's some super cute otter fabric. This is an excellent example. And if you watch the No More Tailor video that I posted, I show it, but it was too thin. It was way too thin. It was probably a nice, like, it would have been a nice dress fabric probably, maybe. But I think it might have been even too thin for that because you would be able to see everything. Anyway, but like I wouldn't have been able to tell that from a photo of it online. So that's part of why I go is because it's just like cutting out that middleman of being able to tell like colors and textures in person versus on a computer screen, which is super important. The other part of this is I'm not working in large quantities. Like unless I'm working on a club or something like that, I'm only buying 2 to 3 meters of fabric. I'm not buying 15 meters of fabric. Even the club fabrics aren't 15 meters worth of fabric. So I'm purchasing more than can be purchased through Nomoda. Nomoda has a cap of 1 meter, which is fine. But like my typical minimum is 2 meters. To be able to do everything. Now, that guinea pig fabric that I talked about for the Mae Glasses Cases being 1 meter, that's one of the exceptions. But that is in part because it's a small scatter print, and it won't work well for large, like the big bags like this. It's like it gets too much, which is weird, but it's true. So like that's like the exception to that generalization of I buy 2 meters of all the fabrics. It's a generalization. Majority of the time it's 2 to 3 meters of fabric because that's what I need for the bags. And that makes plenty of bags. All right, so we're gonna sew around. And then next bag. Should actually time myself and see where we end up with each of these. Okay, 5706. Now these will be boxed afterwards. That's right. Mostly I just don't feel like doing it right now. I don't like pre-boxing my corners if I can avoid it. The only one that I do that on is the Kato bag because the pattern is written very specifically for very specifically that way. I had to back stitch over the zipper to give it a little bit extra oomph in that area because it will be a high stress area. And we sew down, 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 down. And we're going to turn needles down, so I'm just going to lift my presser foot, turn, and sew. Okay, so I do see one drawback here is that now I have to manipulate all of this through the machine to do this stitching. Whereas if I did do the foot of each bag, no, it is more of a pain in the ass to have it when I'm actually. I was just thinking about it when we were doing the webbing on the ones that had their foots already sewn. That was a pain in the ass, way more than it is right now. Because you have to manipulate a bunch of fabric to get them lined up and all of that. So this is still a better option. Go. Using a domestic machine, please don't sew over your pins. It will make your domestic machine very angry. Potentially. If you do it and you've never had a problem, don't listen to me. That's just the caution I keep hearing. All right. Lift, turn, finish. All There we go. So that's about 3 minutes. So I don't know how many bags I want to do, but if we do about 10 to 12, that's about 40 minutes worth of work. Then we can actually, what I'll probably do is I'll finish as many as I can, and then we will trim the box edges. And then tonight, what I'll rely on is that I'll be able to actually finish the box edges. Oh, and there's my phone call. 1 moment. All right. So mostly good news. He may come home tonight. Hopefully he will. Not bad news at least. So, all right. Just struggling to get the pins in here because I've pinned the interface in the wrong direction. I'm really tempted to run my stuff into Calgary now and then come back and work in the afternoon. Because I do need to pack up the vehicle. And they just said that if he is picked up, it'll likely be a late night pickup. Just because he isn't off of his glucose drip yet, but he's close to being. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't crash. Cat, you need to trim your nails again, hey? So if you're wondering why all the black cat fabrics in the shop are not named Black Cat, it's because of this one. Her name's Dahlia, but she is Sassy Cat because she is got the biggest personality and the smallest body I have met ever for a cat, especially, but even for humans. She's definitely sassier than our babies. And yeah, so if you ever wonder why all the fabrics in the shop are called Sassy Cat, she is the reason. She also needs to go into the vet and get a little bit of blood work done because we think she might have a little bit of hyperthyroid. So she's got a high heart rate. When she's in the vet, we couldn't chalk it up to whether it was anxiety or like basically white coat syndrome, blah blah blah. So the vet was like, well, just check her when you're home and then come back. And the problem is that every time I've tried to check her, she starts purring. So I think it might be time to just take her in for some blood work. Obviously, after this vet adventure with Flynn, we may be waiting a little bit longer than anticipated for that, but we'll get it figured out. This vet has been in Calgary has been absolutely amazing. So he's at, oh, keep your tail out of there. He's at the Paramount Vet Clinic in Varsity. It's one of the only 24-hour vet clinics that I've seen in the city recently. It's close to me, which is nice. It's actually just up the road from Market Mall, which is where Market Spot is. And they've been really good so far. So I'm very pleased. I would recommend them to anyone who is asking. I think they do regular services as well, but obviously we are using their emergency services. So, all right, let's get you turned. Yeah, I think I am going to run into the city now, and then I don't end up potentially running into traffic and a bunch of like rigmarole. I can throw all the bags that I currently have in my suitcases very quick. So, unlike sewing till 2, I will go do that, and then I will come back and I will be sewing until I go pick the kids up. I think that's the better option. Then I can also get dinner made. It's just going to be pizza, but I can get dinner made beforehand, and then if I need to go back in for Flynn, I'm free and clear, and it's easy to do that at any point tonight. All right, we're just about done this seam. Yeah, I think that's a good decision. It's a little bit less disruptive. I do not know what is rattling that hard. Sorry if you can hear it a lot, but yeah, I think it's the needle synchronize. I don't know why I backstitched there. I'm not finishing there. I've got to turn the corner. Distracted by cats. All right, there we go. So I have to actually run into Calgary to do a setup for the Ancient Arts Yarns pop-up. That's tomorrow. I was going to do a little bit later, but I think it will be less disruptive if I go in and drop everything off now, and then I can sew until I have to go pick up the kids from their childcare. So if you want to watch back the live, what we covered earlier was I did the Mae Glasses Cases. I completed their rivets on camera. They've also had all of their finishing done in that I put in the vinyl logo inside. I didn't put that on camera because I don't know why I didn't, but it just, I was waiting for a call from the vet, and then the call from the vet didn't come. So I was just like, well, I'm going to get on live and show me installing the rivets. So that'll be available for like perusal. And then I sewed a couple of the big bags on screen. And then I've just spontaneously decided that now is the time to actually go into Calgary to drop stuff off, knowing that Flynn will be a pickup until later this evening from the emergency vet. So I will come back this afternoon and I'll be streaming again, hopefully around 2-ish. It's 12:30 right now. So between like running everything down and setting it up, maybe 3. So that'll be another hour and a half stream around 3 o'clock Mountain Time, or maybe a little bit earlier. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll post there for the link, or follow me, subscribe to me on YouTube, and that will give you a heads up on when I actually join. So thanks so much, guys, for joining me again. If you enjoyed, please like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in a few hours. Bye.